Okay, so in this session we're going to cover off another tool that we've developed for you at Agent Dynamics called the Business Success Planner. And as you can see there, you can pop your name in there. Now the purpose of this is when you set your goals for the year and you work out how much you want to earn, what's your gross commission that you need to bring into the company to achieve that goal. What this is actually gives you a roadmap of achieving that goal, and that you can monitor, measure, and improve upon each month as you're going through. For the simplicity of the exercise today, we're going to work on a $500,000 GCI. Let's say that the commission from that, on average, would be $10,000. That would break it down that you would need to have 50 listings. So if we took that over a 10-month period, and as once again, for simplicity, we'll just do it at 5 listings per month for the 10 months. So we've put in here your average commission, and that you would need to have actual listings depending on your sell-through. So if you wanted to achieve the 50 listings, and say you've got a win rate that you would win 8 out of 10 listings, so we know that each month that we would need to have an extra 1. So your actual listings would be 6, and your sales target would be 5. Okay, so then we would need to go into the appraisals of how many appraisals would you need to have to achieve that. And once again, let's say that we have a target appraisal of 10 per month. And over the year, that would just mean that you would need to have a win 50% of those to achieve your goal. So each month you would then, so this would be fairly solid all the way through on those numbers, but we'd have a appraisal actual, so that would be what you actually achieved in the month. So let's say that for January that you achieved 9 appraisals. Okay. And your actual listings might have been 5, and you may have achieved 4 sales. Okay, actual commissions depending on whether you've got a settlement in this month. So let's say that you have, and let's say that you did achieve your $10,000 in commission. Okay, and we know that everything in this business starts with generating, and of course you need to have a target of calls. Now, on average, we would say that you should be doing 20 generating calls per day, and if we take that over a month, we're going to look that we would need to have 400 calls for the month. Let's say January it might have been a bit slow and you just achieved 300 of those calls. Carried forward from last year, because you had December was a big month for you when you had settlements, and you've actually got $17,000 in commission coming through. Now you'll see, if you look to the right hand side of the screen, you'll see that it started to make numbers in there, and it's going to then go into an average. So let's go on to the second month. Once again, for February, you're going to be the same in terms of your appraisals target. And exactly the same for your sales target and your listing target. They're going to be the same every single month, because at the end of the year, that's going to add up to 500,000. So at the end of each month, we're then going to go in and we're going to fill out, what we've actually achieved from our target. So let's say that in February we actually worked really, really hard, and we actually achieved 11 appraisals in February. Listings, we've really worked hard on our pipeline, and we achieved our target of 6. Sales, not so much in terms of February comes through, we achieved 3. And our commission that carried through was $10,000. We've really ramped up our calls because we know that consistency is the key to success, and we actually achieved 450 generating calls. We've got a delayed settlement that come through from November, sale in November, that settled in February, and that gave us $12,000 in commission. Okay, so if you look once again to the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see that it's tracking and measuring exactly what you've done. Also in the next box, it gives you averages. Now the benefit of this is that you can reflect and look each year in terms of your activity and predictability of what's happening in your marketplace, when ideally is a good time for you to take your holidays or your breaks, and of when is the market the most active. Now, one thing that we've got to consider in business is the expenses that we have. And we then be able to break that down into a cost per listing, and you'll be able to, put your business owner's hat on and to have a much better view of your business. Now, let's have a look at the expenses that you might have. Let's say, for an example, in your personal marketing, we've got your program happening as per our marketing plan for letterbox drops. And let's say that your letterbox drops would cost you, let's say, $500 per month, and it's costing $150 per delivery. And as discussed, during your sessions about your identity and your marketing, your personal branding in the marketplace, you've actually got your own website, and maintenance on that website is $50 per month. And you're involved in sponsorship, and actually the sponsorship, we don't have sponsorship fees in January, so that comes down to a zero. Nor did you make any donations for the month, but you had 2 settlements, so you had the expense of your vendor gifts, and we've allocated $100 per vendor and buyer, so that we've got $200 in there. Your phone plan is around $120 a month, and any other expenses, miscellaneous expenses, let's just put down $25 for that. It could be some parking or things like that. Oops, we're going to cover off parking down further. So we've known that your expenses for the month is $1,045. So we go down into out of your settlement. So it's going to give you a much clearer indication of what it's costing to run your business and what your profit margins are. Okay, your car payments a month might be $300, and it's costing an average of $100 a month for fuel. Okay, and your insurance for the month is $80, and registration is $50. Of course, it's really important that your car is always washed and detailed, and we're going to allow $50 for that. Servicing, we put aside $50 a month for servicing, and for parking we've allowed $50 as well. Any other expenses that may come up under your motor vehicle, let's just say it's $50. Okay, so we know that our motor vehicle expenses is $702 for the month. So for the month of January, we actually had $17,000 worth of settlements. We had running expenses of $1,045, and then an additional $702 in terms of your motor vehicle expenses. And you'll see over here on the right-hand side that will actually, once again, exactly at the top, will go through each month and add up, and it will give you a total for the year. This way that you can be able to, at the end of the year, or as you're going through, you're going to divide and know per listing of what your profit margin, of how much of that is going to be into expenses, how much of that is going to be in terms of profit. That will also help you for your future planning. So for your convenience, we've given you in the resource area, we've given you 2 of these. One is broken into a financial year, which goes from July through to the 30th of June, and there's one there for a full calendar year. So depending on which one you would prefer to work on, is just go ahead and fill that out, and make sure that you have accountability that each month that you're filling this out, because it's vital to your success and your longevity in your real estate.